Hey everyone, how's it going? Grizzly here with another TF2 video, still talking about gunmetal stuff. Today we're going to be going over the Heavy. And as you guys know, over the past couple of years, Heavy has gotten his fair share of nerfs. But with the gunmetal update, Valve is actually trying to make it more relevant. And when you think of TF2, you think of the Heavy. He's kind of the face of Team Fortress 2. So this update's been really generous to the Heavy. I've really enjoyed it so far. All of the Heavy's miniguns, except for the Huelong Heater, got a buff in one way or another. But the one that I really want to focus on today is my favorite, the Tomislav. Now, I don't play a ton of Heavy, but this weapon finally has me putting on my Heavy pants and playing some of that heavy weapons guy. And let me just say, it's the most fun I've had playing Heavy since you could throw a sandwich to yourself. So some really brief background on the Tomislav. Tomislav was added in the Uber update a few years ago, and if you guys were playing during that time, you might remember how good the Tomislav used to be. When it first came out, it had a 75% spin-up reduction, which was crazy. And there was still the penalty of a firing speed of 20%, but that didn't really matter because you could get the jump on your opponents like every single time. So Valve quickly nerfed the weapon. They saw this was a problem. They're like, this is way too fast. And they nerfed the spin up to 40%. And then later on, they even nerfed it down to 10%, which pretty much made it obsolete. But now the Tomislav is back, it finally has its chance to shine again, and it doesn't just boast a faster spin-up time, it's also 20% more accurate. So what does that mean? Exactly how much more accurate is that? Well, here's a quick side-by-side comparison showing the stock minigun and the Tomislav from 512 hammer units away. As you guys can see, there isn't a huge difference here, but the Tomislav is slightly more accurate. Now, you step that back to 1024 hammer units, and that's where the Tomislav really starts to shine. That right there, that's a pretty big difference. In my opinion, the accuracy improvement alone is enough reason to use this gun, but on top of that, you still have the spin-up bonus of 20%. All of that sounds really good, right? But we do have to keep in mind that it is 20% slower when it fires, so how big of a difference does that actually make? And the answer is not a whole lot, really. I mean, although it is slower, it's more accurate, which in my opinion makes up for the slower firing speed. So I was curious as to what this would be like in a Heavy versus Heavy matchup, so I did a little bit of quick math. The stock minigun and Tomislav both deal the same amount of damage, which is approximately 50 per ammo at point blank. Assuming each Heavy has 300 health, it's going to take 6 shots to kill them. Now the Tomislav revs up in approximately 0.7 seconds, with each shot after that coming in at 0.12 seconds. This means you're going to be able to get off those 6 shots in 1.3 seconds. The minigun, on the other hand, revs up a little bit slower at 0.87 seconds, but each shot after that is slightly faster at 0.1 seconds. Add that up and you get 6 shots in 1.37 seconds, 0.07 seconds slower than the Tomislav. This means that if both Heavies rev up at the exact same time at point blank and hit all of their shots, the Tomislav Heavy should come out on top. So what are the downsides? Everything that I've said sounds really good so far, right? Well, in my opinion, it is. The Tomislav is much better than the stock at any distance over 512 hammer units, especially when you're not already revved up. The stock minigun, on the other hand, does take the cake for anything inside 512 units, and if you're already revved, I mean, you definitely have the upper advantage there. In the Heavy versus Heavy matchup, they're really pretty even. The Tomislav takes it from mid to long range, but if you bump into that revved Heavy around the corner, you're toast. It doesn't even matter. The stock minigun will deal out more damage over time, but the Tomislav is still a great option because it allows you to run around a bit more and not have to worry about always being revved up and ready to go. It's not the best Heavy primary for close quarters, but at the end of the day, it's still a minigun. It's still going to tear people apart. So that's my take on it. What do you guys think about the new Tomislav? I would love to hear your opinions in the comments below. But that is all I have for you guys, so thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you all later. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
This is Heavy Weapons Guy. Thank you for watching Grizzly. Now click that little red button. Ha ha!